Hi, my name is Kevin Ahern, and I'm your instructor for BB350 this term. BB350 is a class that I have taught for a long time, and it's one that I have a great affection for, as well as the students who have taken the class. I've gotten to know many students from the class very well, and really have had a good time working with them and, as they say, teaching the class. BB350 is a challenging class. I think a lot of people worry about biochemistry, probably more than they need to. But nonetheless, they do worry about it. It's a class that taps a lot of your skills, from math and chemistry to organic chemistry and so forth. Up front, you'll see a lot of math and chemistry, but I can assure you that the entire course is not about math and chemistry. It is necessary to start there, though, so that you get a good foundation for the things that'll be coming. Biochemistry is the science that I call the understanding how what the molecular basis of life is, and that's a really critical thing. We know today that the foundations of everything that makes us a living organism resides in molecules, and understanding those molecules is what biochemistry is all about, and what you'll be learning about. I think through this course you'll learn a lot about how your body works. You'll learn a lot about how cells do the magic that they do, and you'll learn that through understanding critical things like enzymes and how they function and so forth. So there's a lot of excitement, a lot of really cool things that you can take in your study of biochemistry. BB350 is a class that'll take a lot of work. It's a 4-credit class, and it's a class that you're going to see there's a lot of material. And I don't throw a lot of material at you to just have things to swamp you, but I do cover a lot of material so that you have a good idea of the scope of biochemistry that you're going to be using in other classes that you'll be taking. It is a survey of biochemistry, so we're kind of looking over the sort of tops of things and not getting too deep into any particular area. And hopefully with that approach that it'll be serving your needs as a student and also your interests as well. Biochemistry, the tips I have, a lot of times students ask me about how they should prepare for the class, how they should study for the class, and so forth. And I thought I'd say a few words about that here. Biochemistry, as you'll see, BB350 online has a lot of resources that I have created for you. They include the lecture videos that I made. The lecture videos, of course, were done in my lecture class, so you're seeing exactly the same things that the students in the lecture class got to work with. You'll see all the figures, of course, that come from that, and you'll also see the highlights that I wrote, which are a short summary of the main points of each lecture. I tell students to focus on the highlights. I think highlights are helpful. I will also tell you that you will not find any questions on the exam that are not about something I talked about. That is, if I talk about it, you can expect you might be able to see it, but I'm not going to go find something obscure and ask you questions about if I haven't talked about it. So it's important that you follow what I talk about, and the highlights, I think, are the best way to stay on top of that. In addition, this term, for the first time, I'm doing virtual office hours via Zoom, and for this class, it'll be every Friday morning at 11 a.m., starting in week 0, which is the week in which the classes actually start, starting on September the 22nd. Our first Zoom session's on the 24th, and all the Zoom sessions are announced on Canvas, so you can take a look at them there. Well, that's pretty much the course. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself to introduce myself to you, so I'm not some imaginary person out there. I'm a real person. I've been teaching biochemistry at Oregon State since about 1995, so longer than most of you have been alive, I'm guessing. And it's a class that I have truly loved over the years, as I noted earlier. It is a class that a lot of nutrition and food science majors take, as well as a variety of other majors as well. And you take it not because you want to take biochemistry, but you take it because it's a requirement for you to move on in your programs. And so having an understanding of the molecular basis of life is important. And I keep that in mind as I'm giving the lectures and so forth, that I don't want to give you a bunch of facts just for the sake of giving you facts, but rather giving you some information that'll be useful for you as you're going further along. The last thing I'll tell you is a little bit about myself growing up and so forth. I grew up in a little tiny farm town in the Midwest, in west central Illinois, a little town called Fowler, Illinois. And grew up not on a farm, but certainly very close to, surrounded by farms everywhere that we were. If you think of, you ever seen the movie Field of Dreams? Field of Dreams was very much like what my upbringing was like. I played baseball, and we had baseball fields right next to the cornfields. And so when that movie showed the baseball players walking out of the fields, it was something that I could relate to very, very well. I got my PhD from Oregon State University in 1986, again, a very long time ago. And so I'm a Beaver through and through. I've lived in Corvallis since 1981, and truly love the Pacific Northwest. I truly love the state of Oregon, and I truly love the city of Corvallis. So these are all wonderful things for me. I also love working with my students. I hope I can be of help to you during the term. As I said, I'm going to be available weekly for Zoom sessions with you, and you're welcome to join in those. If you have other questions that you want to answer by email, that's certainly fine. I'm happy to do those as well. And if you find that you really want to just say FaceTime or something like that to discuss something, or just phone call, I'm happy to do that as well. So whatever I can do to help you to learn the subject is important, and I want to make sure that I can help you in any way I can. Well, that said, that covers the course, that covers me, and we're about ready to start the term. So I wish you the best, and study hard. Take care.